The Ship of Fools, Episode 108. It was something he ate. The grand interstellar culinary expo stretched across 5 domes of glowing stalls, sizzling grills, floating sample trays, and vendors shouting in languages that sounded like musical instruments being tuned. Snipes wandered through it like a kid in a candy store. If the candy store were on fire, upside down, and full of things that hissed. He held a plate in each hand, and another plate balanced on his shoulder, and a skewer in his mouth. A vendor shouted, "Free samples!" Snipes spun. "I love free stuff!" He grabbed something steaming. Another vendor shouted, "Try this!" Snipes grabbed that too. A third vendor shouted, "Don't eat that!" Snipes ate it. He avoided only the dishes that crawled, flew, or stared at him with too many eyes. Everything else went down the hatch. By the time he waddled back to the Shadow Quest, he was glowing faintly. The moment Snipes stepped aboard, the ship's explosive detection alarms shrieked like they were being murdered. Red lights flashed, bulkheads sealed. Aurora materialized in a panic. "Snipes," she said, "you are triggering every hazardous material sensor on the ship." Snipes burped. A spark shot out. Banning stared. "That's not normal." Moxie pinched the bridge of her nose. "You stink! What did you eat?" Snipes shrugged. "Everything." Aurora scanned him. Her hologram flickered. "Oh, no." Banning swallowed. "What do you mean, oh, no?" Aurora projected a molecular diagram that looked like a toddler's scribble. "In a 1,000,000,000 coincidence," she said, "the chemical compounds from the food Snipes consumed have combined into a volatile compound that exists only in this universe. It is extremely unstable." Snipes blinked. "Is that bad?" Aurora replied, "It is 800 times more explosive than the old Earth weapons that were outlawed centuries ago." Snipes gasped. "I'm a bomb?" Banning pointed. "Into the containment pod, now." The crew escorted Snipes to a reinforced containment pod normally used for unstable alien artifacts. Snipes climbed inside, sitting cross-legged like a kid in timeout. Moxie sealed the door. "You stay in there until it passes." Snipes pressed his face to the glass. "How long is that?" Aurora checked her readings. "Approximately 6 to 8 hours. Snipes groaned. "That's forever. I'll starve to death." Banning sighed. "Just don't sneeze." Snipes sneezed. The pod shook. Aurora dimmed. "Please refrain from doing that." Banning sent a report to Fleet Headquarters. "We have a situation involving Snipes. He is currently chemically unstable." But the message never reached Fleet. A pirate ship intercepted it. A pirate captain read the transmission aloud. "Their crewman, Snipes, is a walking bomb?" His crew cheered. "Prepare the boarding party!" The Shadow Quest jolted as grappling hooks slammed into the hull. Pirates stormed aboard, weapons raised. Moxie charged them like a meteor. Banning shouted, "Protect the pod!" Aurora flickered through the ship's systems, locking doors and rerouting power. But the pirates had one goal. They reached the containment pod, cut it open, and dragged Snipes out, kicking and screaming. Snipes flailed. "I'm dangerous! I'm unstable! I'm—" A pirate slapped duct tape over his mouth. They hauled him onto their ship. The Shadow Quest crew arrived seconds too late. Moxie punched a wall. "They're going to use him as a weapon." Aurora flickered. "They intend to target the Galactic Ambassador's summit." Banning clenched his fists. "Then we stop them." The Shadow Quest pursued the pirate vessel to a derelict station orbiting a dying star. Inside, the pirates prepared Snipes for their plan. They placed him in a reinforced cage. Snipes mumbled through the tape. "Mmph, mmph." A pirate leaned in. "Quiet, bomb boy. You're going to make us rich." Snipes's stomach gurgled. The pirate frowned. "What was that?" Snipes' eyes widened. The pirate stepped back. You stink! What did you eat? The Shadow Quest crew stormed the station. Moxie took down guards with precision strikes. Banning blasted open doors. Aurora disabled security systems. They reached Snipes' cell. Banning ripped off the tape. Snipes, are you okay? Snipes nodded. I threw up. Moxie blinked. Where? Snipes pointed to a corner of the cell. The crew froze. Aurora scanned the puddle. The unstable compound has been expelled. Banning exhaled. So he's safe? Aurora nodded. Yes, but the puddle is not. The crew grabbed Snipes and sprinted back to the Shadow Quest. Behind them, a pirate entered the cell. He stepped in the puddle. There was a bright flash. The station shook. The Shadow Quest accelerated away as the explosion lit up space behind them. Snipes watched through the viewport. Oops. Banning rubbed his temples. Never eat anything again. Snipes nodded solemnly. I promise. He paused. Unless it looks tasty. Moxie groaned. We're doomed. Aurora flickered. Statistically, yes. The Shadow Quest jumped to warp. Epilogue. The aftertaste of disaster. The Shadow Quest drifted in quiet space, its hull still humming from the emergency burn that got them away from the exploding pirate station. Inside the medbay, Snipes sat on an exam table swinging his legs like a kid waiting for a lollipop. Aurora flickered beside him, running a final scan. The volatile compound has fully cleared your system. You are no longer chemically unstable. Snipes grinned. So I'm safe to eat again? Banning, leaning against the wall with his arms crossed, answered before Aurora could. No. Moxie paced the room, still riding the adrenaline of the rescue. You were kidnapped, weaponized, and almost used to blow up a room full of ambassadors. Snipes shrugged. But I didn't, Aurora corrected gently. A pirate hideout did explode. Snipes raised a finger. That wasn't me, that was something I ate. Banning rubbed his temples. That's not better. Snipes hopped off the table. Well, the important thing is I'm fine. Moxie stared at him. Snipes, you threw up in a pirate-holding cell and destroyed half a planet. Snipes brightened. So I saved us. Aurora tilted her head. Statistically, your gastrointestinal distress prevented a diplomatic catastrophe. Snipes beamed. See? Hero. Banning sighed. You're not a hero. You're a hazard. Snipes puffed out his chest. A heroic hazard. Moxie groaned. Please don't put that on your fleet record. Snipes pulled out his datapad. Too late. Banning lunged for it. No! Snipes dodged, laughing as he ran down the corridor. Aurora flickered after him. Commander, statistically, he will update his personnel file within 30 seconds. Banning slumped. I hate statistics. Moxie clapped him on the shoulder. Come on, let's go stop him before Fleet assigns him to another war. The two of them sprinted after Snipes, who was already halfway to the bridge, shouting, Make way for heroic hazard, Snipes. Aurora dimmed the lights in resignation. Statistically, she said to herself, this will not end well. The Shadow Quest sailed on into the stars, carrying one commander, one warrior, one AI, and one man who should never ever be allowed near an alien buffet again. End of episode 108. The missions of the Shadow Quest, the Ship of Fools, will continue.